New attacks in the Strait of Hormuz are threatening the ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran. That's where we're starting the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Tuesday, May 5th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. Yesterday, I told you about President Donald Trump's announcement that U.S. forces would start guiding ships through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran blockaded and laid mines in the critical waterway in response to the U.S. and Israel launching their war on Iran. The U.S. is also blockading Iranian ports. The two countries are technically in a temporary ceasefire, which was agreed to on April 7th. But yesterday, there was a sharp escalation of attacks in the strait. An American admiral said that Iran fired cruise missiles and drones at U.S. naval and commercial vessels crossing the strait, but did not land any hits. He said Iran also sent 6 fast boats after the commercial ships, but that U.S. forces fired on and destroyed the vessels. The UAE and Oman also reported attacks. And in a separate incident, Trump said Iran hit a South Korean tanker in the strait. Iranian officials said over the weekend that U.S. attempts to interfere with Tehran's management of the strait would qualify as a ceasefire violation. The new attacks are threatening that shaky ceasefire as Iran and the U.S. struggle to make progress in talks to actually end the war. Number 2 is a Post exclusive. White House lawyers are preparing their staff for how to deal with a Democratic Congress. There's a growing sense across the Trump administration that the Republican Party is in trouble going into the midterm elections. President Trump's popularity continues to sag under the economic strain caused by the Iran war, among other issues. Yesterday, the Post reported that staff are beginning to brace for the likelihood of significant Democratic victories in November. In private briefings, White House lawyers are reminding staff members how congressional oversight works and suggesting ways to handle it. According to the report, they have encouraged political appointees to be careful about what they put in writing. Trump has acknowledged his party's electoral vulnerability, repeatedly saying that the incumbent party hardly ever wins the midterms. He has also stressed the stakes of the elections, telling supporters that Democrats will attempt to impeach him again if they gain control of Congress. The White House was briefly locked down following gunfire between the Secret Service and an armed person. That's number 3. Yesterday, Secret Service officers identified a suspicious person near the Washington Monument. According to the agency, officers approached the individual who tried to flee on foot before firing at the agents. They fired back, and the person was struck and taken to a hospital. Gunfire struck a young bystander who did not sustain life-threatening injuries. The Secret Service said it wasn't clear who the person may have been targeting. Matthew Quinn, the deputy director of the Secret Service, spoke at a news conference after the incident.
I'll point out that not long before this shooting occurred, the vice president's motorcade did transit through this area. The investigation itself, in terms of the use of force in the shooting, will be conducted by Metropolitan Police Department.
Number 4. The Supreme Court restored access to a widely used abortion pill by mail for now. Last week, a federal appeals court ruled that mifepristone, which is used in medication abortions, could only be picked up in person and not by mail. But 2 drug manufacturers filed emergency petitions to the Supreme Court to restore mail access. Yesterday, the court granted that request, at least temporarily. Mifepristone will continue to be accessible by mail until May 11th, while the court considers the drug maker's request. This drug has become a key target for anti-abortion activists since Roe v. Wade was overturned in 2022. People have been using telehealth appointments to get the medication delivered to states with new abortion bans. Microplastics are probably helping heat up the planet. That's our fifth story. Tiny pieces of plastic, known as microplastics or nanoplastics, lurk in every corner of the globe. They have been found in rivers, lakes, and oceans. They're in our food and water supplies. And, can you feel that? They are also in our bodies. But less is known about what their effect could be on climate change. A new study revealed that it's probably not good news. Researchers found that these tiny pieces of plastic are likely absorbing more heat than they are reflecting. Black, yellow, blue, and red particles absorb even more sunlight than white particles. By one scientist's calculation, the effect of 1 year's microplastic emissions globally is approximately equivalent to a year's pollution from 200 coal-fired power plants. Number 6. School cell phone bans don't affect test scores or attendance. In recent years, most states have attempted to curb cell phone use. 2/3 have implemented rules that limit or outright ban cell phones on school grounds. Researchers wanted to know what, if anything, these bans are achieving. So they looked at data collected between 2018 and 2025 in more than 41,000 schools. They found that the average effect on test scores was, quote, consistently close to 0. The bans also didn't make much difference to attendance, perceptions of online bullying, or in-class engagement. However, teachers reported that educators were happier at work. And it seems like over time, students reported feeling better at school too. So even though it might not make you any smarter, perhaps it's still worth putting your phone away. And at number 7, celebrities paid tribute to art at the annual Met Gala. For those who don't know, the Met Gala is former Vogue editor Anna Wintour's annual benefit for the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute. It's also a chance for celebrities to strut down a red carpet in fabulous and sometimes outrageous looks. This year's theme was a simple one: fashion is art. The dress code led to looks inspired by artworks, artists, and artistic concepts. Not everyone was a fan. Protesters outside the gala criticized the choice of the billionaire founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, and his wife as honorary chairs and financial sponsors of this year's event. Bezos owns the Washington Post. But on the red carpet, it was business as usual. As always, Rihanna was late to arrive, and as always, she didn't disappoint. Cardi B arrived in a very bulbous getup that has to be seen to be understood. And Beyoncé herself gave a lovely answer to a question from Post reporter Shane O'Neill.
Is there one piece of art that has changed your life?
I'm sorry?
Is there one piece of art that has changed your life?
I would say my children.
Your children?
Yes.
One more time?
My children.
Oh yeah, the greatest work of art.
At the end of the night, our reporters did the math and picked the 9 best-dressed celebrities. To see their favorite looks, follow the link in today's 7 newsletter.
Beyoncé has left, but will never leave my heart.
All right, you're all caught up. It's as good a time as any to sign up for that newsletter I keep talking about. Where else can you read about microplastics, the Supreme Court, and Beyoncé all in one place? You can find the 7 Morning Briefing through a simple, old-fashioned Google search or by following the link in our show notes. It's totally free, so sign up, and you can get links to all the stories I talk about here on the podcast early every weekday morning. I'm Hannah Jewell. I'll meet you back here tomorrow.